Just make sure this lighting's good for you guys. What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Feels so good to pick up the camera again. Not really the setting I wanted to make this reveal video with. It's definitely not as hyped up as I thought it was gonna be when I got the car. I haven't updated you guys on what's going on with the Mustang. If you guys follow me on Instagram, then you guys know that I did sell the Mustang and I did buy another car. I realize that a lot of you guys are very biased to Ford and you guys are here for the Mustang. You guys are here for the whole Ford experience and, you know, the build on the Mustang. And that's why you guys subscribe, that's why you guys watched my previous videos. But we are moving on to a different build, and as sad as it is, the Mustang is gone. I sold it about 2 weeks ago. With all that being said, I don't want to talk too much, but I do need to give you guys an introduction on exactly where we're at in the channel, and that is I bought another car 2 days ago. It is not at all in any condition that I thought I was gonna buy one of these at. It needs a lot of TLC. It needs modifications left and right because stock, they look a little girly, and yeah, so we're just gonna get into it. Bought this car 2 days ago. I mean, since it's a car that's not like, oh my god, to a lot of people, I'm gonna tell you guys how much I paid for it, what the mileage is, all that kind of stuff. Since it is a reveal video, I'm not gonna tell you on why I bought this car, but if any of you guys know from watching, you know, previous videos, and if you just know me personally, I am obsessed with this car. So here it is, my 2004 Honda S2000. So here she is. She is, like I said, in very bad condition. So this car, I picked it up for $9,500 out the door. I bought it from a very small dealership that does like little small sports cars kind of stuff. I found it. I was very close to not buying an S2000. I was honestly about to buy or lease a commuter car. That's a whole nother video. I got another job, hence why I'm filming this at night. I just got off work. It's over in San Jose. If you guys know the area, it's about an hour drive from Santa Cruz, from where I live. So I got a new job and I needed a commuter car, but I came across this deal. We made it happen, and here it is. So 2004 Honda S2000. Here's the catch. She has 177,000 miles roughly. So she's been through the ropes. It is not a clean car for the most part, and I'll go over in detail a couple of the things that need to be fixed before I start modifying it. Boom, transition to my garage. Only reason I came back here is because my camera died, so I needed to recharge it. But we have a lot more light in here. That way we can see all the imperfections on the S2000 and kind of get a feel for how much work it is to get this car back to a point in which I feel like it's at its original state where I can feel comfortable modifying it. So I'm gonna go over every single little thing that is wrong with it, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this video up because there's gonna be a ton of videos on this. First and foremost, I want to tell you the plan for the channel. The first little bit is going to be getting this car back to stock and, like I said, in its original state. And with that being said, there's going to be a little bit of body work, how-tos, a couple things here and there with sanding, so kind of restoration type videos for you guys. And then after that, we'll start doing more modification videos. So I know I talk a ton in these videos. I do apologize. I haven't seen you guys in a while, so we're going to get into it right now. I'm going to flip the camera around and start talking about all these imperfections. Now, there are two major flaws cosmetically that this car has. One of them being it's got a few dents in the body, different panels, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then the paint is not as good as I wanted. So first and foremost, we'll walk over to the most major dent here. It's gonna be this general one. As you guys can see, the difference in light here, it dents about here, and then there's some small ones here, and there's a really bad one in the crease of the actual fender here. So these dents, I have a guy coming out who is supposed to be pulling all the dents in the car, or as many as he can, to get the body as straight as possible. This is just one example here. If we walk over to this side, there is going to be another dent here. And then if we walk all the way over onto this side, if we can get it correctly in the light, there's just gonna be a light little ripple on this side. So once the body's straight, I have to decide if I want to respray parts of this car or if I want to wrap it. So that's one thing that I kind of want to leave up to you guys, is should I keep this original blue color, I believe it's called the Suzuka blue, correct me if I'm wrong, S2K guys, but it's like this light silver baby blue color. As you guys can see, both doors, the rear quarters besides that ripple, and the mirrors, all paint is in good condition. The rear bumper is a little scuffed up, but as you guys can see from about right here, the paint's actually not that bad on the rear bumper. The panels that need to definitely get repainted is going to be the trunk itself, this little small piece here. Once the dents get taken out, I'm assuming the paint has been warped a little bit. I'm not sure if that's the correct word, but the fenders will need to be resprayed. The hood as well needs to be resprayed. And then I am going to get a whole new front bumper because as you guys can see, there is a lot of damage on the front bumper. So once I get a new bumper, that'll have to get resprayed as well. This bumper in particular, I've looked at Voltex, I've looked at Mugen. I honestly want to say for right now where this build is at, for about the next year or so, I'm gonna go with an OEM bumper, get it resprayed, no chips, obviously no cracks. And then I'm just gonna do a lip with a splitter combination and possibly Dremel out any of these, any of the plastic in here, just so that we can get some more airflow into the front end. So OEM bumper runs about $230 unpainted. Get that sprayed for probably $200-300 bucks, hopefully. Get it color matched. This doesn't look like it's an incredibly hard color to color match. It's just a very blue silver. So hopefully we can get that done. If we don't repaint it, it's going to get wrapped and that color is undecided yet. So we need to figure out what color we would wrap it if we went that route. Staying with the cosmetics, we're gonna try to go step by step. This is gonna be a bit of a long video, but I wanna give you guys as much information on the state of the car as I can. The headlights are almost perfect. As you guys can see, there's no fog in it, there's no cracks, there's no scuffs, which is a little worrying because it makes me assume that there was an accident on the front end of the car and they had to replace the headlights because they're so perfect compared to the rest of the body that it's a little odd. But maybe they just, you know, had some bad headlights, they wanted to replace them, so headlights are in very good condition. If we come to the center of the car, this is a big one on S2000s, is that the soft top either has tears, rips, or fades in it. What I mean by fades is, you know, the sun bakes on it and it discolors the black. So this one actually has a relatively new top. As you guys know, with the AP2s, it's gonna have a glass rear window, not plastic, which is good. Something less for people to cut if they're trying to get into the cabin of the car. But yes, the soft top is in great condition. That is a huge plus considering the cost of the top and the labor of putting a new one in. So I'm happy the top is in good condition. If we come around to the back, it's gonna be a little dark, but there are going to be some scuffs on the top of this light here. They run down from the paint to the light, so it seems like someone had a bag here and just dragged it across. With the trunk being repainted, I might just buy another OEM third brake light here. Taillights are actually in really good condition as well. Same thing with the headlights. I would assume, I'm hoping that both of them fogged up and they just wanted to replace all the lighting in the car. So the taillights are looking good on both sides. No scuffs, no cracks, and definitely no fogging. And if you guys couldn't tell already from the beginning, this is an AP2. It does have the AP2 wheels, which is a good thing because the AP1 wheels are ugly. A lot uglier than these. These ones aren't actually that bad. If you lower the car on the AP2 wheels, the car doesn't look awful. So these wheels, each and every single one of them are going to be curb rashed, unfortunately. So they're not the best looking wheels right now condition wise, but they will hold up until I can get all the foundational stuff done to the car. I did get an alignment done with brand new tires yesterday, and the car drives so much better with that alignment. So I'm super stoked on that. The car drives really good right now. It just needs some cosmetic work. Now that we're done talking about the exterior of the car, let's move on to the interior so you guys can see how good of a condition it is inside. Another thing too is this key fob is not in the best condition. It is taped up to hold the battery in. Key fobs are incredibly expensive through Honda, so I went ahead and just ordered some more of these keys here. You can access the car and the trunk as well as the center console glove box with just this key, but it is nice to have the key fob so that you can unlock the car. So we're gonna go ahead and walk in. I have a light propped up here so you guys can get a better understanding of what the interior looks like. Go ahead and slide it open. So if you guys don't know, the car is blue with blue interior. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I am the rare type where I'm half and half on it. And I will explain the plan in a little bit in terms of what I plan on doing with the interior. So here is the infamous S2000 interior. You've got the gauge cluster. This is the AP2, so it's gonna rev out to 8K, or redlines at 8,000. The tachometer only goes till about 3/4 of the way, whereas the AP1 goes all the way to the end here, the way it revs out on the dash there. So we'll go ahead and put the key in. If you guys don't know, S2000s are push start, but they are required to have a key in it. So if you just turn it to the accessory mode, we're not going to start it up since the garage is closed. You guys can see that the gauge cluster, everything works. The fuel gauge is relatively accurate. I've seen it kind of go up a little bit down, but it might be my mind just playing tricks. It reads pretty accurate. Everything else works. In terms of lights on the dash, I am just going to go ahead and start it up really quick so you guys can see. So the car has no lights on it besides that one airbag light. Let's go ahead and shut it off. So there is no check engine light, there is no ABS light, nothing like the Mustang had, just a small airbag light, and I will get that checked out at Honda here soon. In terms of the quality of the interior, the steering wheel is damn near perfect besides a few scuffs on the top here, which I think honestly can be taken out with some good cleaning. Door panels, everything is extremely clean. The door handles here, there's very minimal chipping on the top here, which is good because with these Honda interior quality pieces, they're not amazing, so they are chippable, and it is stuff that can be damaged very easily. And if we look onto the dash here, you guys can see all the buttons, nothing's chipped, everything is looking very good. Same with this side. It's hard to get some light going on in here, but everything is looking good. The dash, no scuffs, no marks. The seats have the, you know, aged bolstering where it's kind of cracking on the sides, but that is very common with almost any seat, especially leather ones that are somewhat sporty. So they're a little cracked. We've got the stereo there that is aftermarket single den, and it hooks up to an aux cord. So yeah, everything is very clean. That is the one thing that I love about this particular S2000 is that the interior is so spotless. In terms of the windshield, there's no cracks. It's got the OEM logo right down there, so you know it's a Honda certified windshield. Rear view mirror is intact. The sun visors, everything is intact, great condition. These lights are out, they are not working. I'm gonna go ahead and order a couple LED bulbs to make it illuminate blue light in here, something that's kind of nice. The hinges for the top, if you guys can see here, everything is working very good. We'll go ahead and snap these off, click them back up, put the key back in, turn it to accessory mode, and you guys can see that the top goes down, no problem. So that's another thing too, is that the tops, sometimes the motors go out, sometimes there's certain hinges that aren't working correctly, but the top goes down with ease. Both windows go up with ease. And even if they went out, the window motors are only about $40, so not a crazy expense there. We'll roll them back down, keep the top down. Let's not kill the battery. So once again, very extensive video. I want to go over every single little detail to make sure you guys know exactly where we're at with the car. If you guys are bored at this point, I understand, but if you'll just hold on with me, I will get through the rest of this detailed little inspection of the car and talk about the direction I want to take with this particular build. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the hood, show you guys the engine bay. That is gonna be the last component. Everything in the trunk is very clean. It also comes with the OEM like roadside kit with the jack. Comes with spare lugs, the lock for the lugs. So everything is very clean, very OEM in the trunk. So we're gonna go ahead and pop the hood, and I'm gonna show you guys the engine bay. Go ahead and turn the light back on here. Now this is the engine bay. Very common thing. It's a stock feature on the S2000. Now this car, you can't tell now because I've been putting some work into it. The paint on it was chipping off to a point where there almost was no more red paint. So what I went ahead and did is I started to sand down the surface of it, taking off all that red paint. Some people hate that idea just because the stock red is a stock color and it's something that gives the S2000 a unique look, and it's a signature thing that Honda did. But it was chipping so bad that it was just super ugly, so I'm gonna go ahead and sand it down. I've already started here. There's a good amount of scratches just because of the level grit of sandpaper I was using. I'm going to try to use a lower grit to buff out a lot of those scratches into that metal. But that's one of the first projects I've started, is to just take off all that paint. Depending on where I go with performance mods on this engine, I may get it powder coated or resprayed a black or a different color just to make it look a little bit cleaner. In terms of the engine bay, everything is pretty much clean. The top hat on this strut assembly is a little rusty. There's a couple bolts that are rusty. The radiator looks new. The air filter box we took off the top, the cone or the actual filter is very clean. We checked oil, all good colors. So everything in the engine bay is super clean, just besides a couple things here and there, which is a very good sign that hopefully the maintenance was taken care of. As you guys know, this car has 177,000 miles, which is insane, but it drives great. Drivetrain, everything shifts great. This car is known for having a sticky transmission or a gated transmission, so the shifts can be a little daunting sometimes, but you can try and fix that with a different transmission fluid. But this thing shifts great, drives great, it delivers the power how it should. It hits VTEC, very funny to say, at around 6,000 RPMs, and then it really kicks on. So this car mechanically drives great. The interior is awesome. It's just aesthetically on the outside, as the exterior, it is not in the best condition, as you guys can see. So engine bay is very clean, that's a plus. But now we're going to talk about the direction that I'm going to take this S2K in. Now, if you've made it this far in the video and you guys didn't click away because I sold the Mustang, you guys know that Hondas get a terrible rap. And everyone just hates on Hondas, and I guess it's understandable. Some of them don't sound the best, a lot of owners rice them out, etc. The S2000 in particular, along with like the NSX, I think are very unique and iconic cars for Honda and Acura that it's hard to generalize it as a Honda and throw hate on it. What I plan on doing is doing a semi-track stance build, and as I modify the car, you guys will kind of understand what I'm trying to do. Once I get this car back to its original state, I don't plan on doing any cutting, any drilling. I did a couple modifications on the Mustang that I kind of regret doing, and I really want to take my time and do genuine modifications to this car. Considering it's a Honda, I feel like if you do anything cheap to it, it's just gonna fit that stereotype of being just another Honda. So I'm trying to do semi-expensive, genuine parts to this car. The first few modifications is going to be an exhaust. I plan on doing just an NVIDIA N1 dual exit exhaust, a set of coilovers. I'm going to try to keep it on these stock AP2 wheels for now, but my first set of wheels are NT03s by Enki with a +40 offset. I think those wheels look great on this car. And then from there, once all the cosmetic stuff is done, just doing like a lip, splitter, spoiler, things of that nature. So just little things here and there. The direction of the car will really come as I modify it, so it's gonna be a journey for sure, and I hope you guys stick with me. I know I went from like one side to the complete opposite side, from going from a V8 Mustang, you know, American muscle car, to a Japanese import 4-banger. But I love this car, and it's beat up right now. It's not fast at all. It's honestly kind of girly, but I have a vision for it, and if you guys will stick with me and if you trust me to modify this car, I promise you it will be sick. So stay tuned for it. It's gonna be dope. If you guys have any questions, just go ahead and comment down below. Also follow me at jordan.d.harris. Link is in the description below. A lot more photos coming for this car, a ton of more videos coming for this car. I'll explain a little bit more about my new job in another video. In the time that I don't have to film anymore. I'm working full time, but I'm gonna try to not make that an excuse and set aside time on the days that I have off to make a couple videos, just so I can post at least 2 or 3 times a week for you guys, because there's so much content for this car coming up, it's unreal. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'm super excited to get back into the channel. It's been so long since I've vlogged, so I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Stay tuned for the build. Follow me on all platforms, and I will catch you guys on the next one.